Good afternoon. Today we're demonstrating the hook and loop lagging system from Belting Industries Group. This is an alternative to traditional adhesives that can be messy, toxic, and take forever. And then when you go to revisit the job, it's yet more laborious. This is a premise that you're putting a loop system on a roller of your choosing. It could be UHMW, it could be aluminum, it could be steel, or it could be PVC such as we have today. This is just a mock-up. Typically your pulleys would be affixed in place and you would have both hands free. We don't have that luxury today, so my assistant Ron is going to help me so that we can wrap the loop around the pulley without a lot of awkwardness. When you have your pulley, what you'll want to do is clean it. Mineral spirits, soap and water, whatever you choose, just make sure it's dry and clean prior to the process. Your kit comes with a template material. That's for the first wrap. What you're doing there is you're taking the diameter of the pulley and you're multiplying it by pi so that you have a working length that you can go from the full width of the lagging down to a vanishing point, and that starts your wrap. From there, it becomes easy as you're just wrapping next to the previous wrap. Ron? This again is the bottom component, or the loop. We're following our match line. And Ron, if you could rotate that just ever so slightly and back the other way so that I might wrap it off and be accurate in doing so. This can be trimmed later on both ends. And we rotate it as we go, eventually coming back and next to our first wrap. Again, this is a little awkward, even with two people, because you're suspended in air, whereas normally it would be affixed. In this case, we're using a 1-inch width, which is consistent with the 2-inch diameter roller. If it were a bigger roller, by any appreciable degree, we'd move to a 2-inch wrap, and so on. Thank you, Ron. And as I say, at the vanishing points, you can trim it, you can cut the excess off, and then come back with a utility knife and trim the edges. And this, again, longer than it would normally take, is the bottom component of the hook and loop lagging. Now that we've got the loop firmly established on the roller, we're going to take a utility knife and come back and trim what, for lack of a better word, would be the flashing along the edge. You can do this by applying pressure against your roller, and it will help guide your knife edge. We do this at both ends. And then we are ready for the hook component to wrap around the pre-wrapped loop. Now we're ready to introduce the top cover or the hook with the matrix affixed to it in advance. The good thing about this is you're retracing the spiral that you've already established with the loop. What you want to do is you want to go past by maybe 5 or 6 inches when you start your wrap, and as you wrap, bring that end around and your vanishing point is established. Now, because you have the breaks in the loop material, it establishes a clear path to follow. If anyone's ever seen the Dave Letterman show where he uses a trampoline and throws himself onto a wall of hook and loop, you know the power of this. And when it's used in this capacity, don't doubt its staying power. It can handle quite a drive. All right, now that we've got it over the top face, we're going to trim the excess. Now your set screw, you'd want to put in about 2 or 3 inches, maybe 2 inches from the end. And it will hold very well and resist any kind of start of opening. And just to emphasize the set screw, you can see in this pre-tapped pulley, that's all it takes. And that will stay on until you decide you want it off. And you do that on both ends. Once you have this done, as your matrix wears out, all you have to do when you're unsatisfied with the grip is pull it off and retrace it, and when you do this a second time and it's secure, you're going to find it's very quick. People have argued that the whole job can be done in a sizable pulley in 15 minutes. This is the hook and loop. We have a little brochure on it here from the Belting Industries Group. It is a patented product available through Belting Industries only. And my name is Jeff Johnston. I thank you for your time, and thank you, Ron, for your help.